24, 37, 46. Hut, hut, hike. Are you looking for a delicious appetizer to serve at your Super Bowl party? Well, today I'm making Super Bowl nachos. We're going to serve these up with some homemade guacamole, some sour cream, some homemade ground beef, and enchilada sauce. And I'll tell you, if you serve this, you're going to score a touchdown with your guests. I'm Rockin' Robin, and I'll show you how to do it right after this. Are you excited about the Super Bowl? Well, I am. That's why I'm wearing this Raider t-shirt. No, they're not going to be in it, but it gets me in the mood. So let's get talking about the food we're going to have for the Super Bowl, or anytime really. You can make this anytime. This recipe is super easy to put together, but you do need to make a few items ahead of time. So we need to make our enchilada sauce, our Mexican ground beef, and our guacamole. That needs to be done ahead of time. And you can make the ground beef and the enchilada sauce the day before. And we'll also need some, here I've got some grated mild cheddar. Mild cheddar goes the best with this enchilada sauce, I think, and you'll get the best results with that. We'll also need some chips. Try and find a sturdy chip because you want it to be able to hold up with the sauce being on it, and the cheese and the ground beef and everything else. And sour cream, that's our last thing that we'll need if you want that. You can always customize this if you like other ingredients, if you like to put olives on there or, onions or whatever it is, jalapenos, you can do it. So let's get started and put this together. I'll also be putting some links up here on the screen for the Mexican ground beef, the enchilada sauce, and the guacamole. I'll also put those links in the description below so you can find them there too. All right, so we want to start off making sure that our ground beef is hot. We want to start with hot ingredients. The same thing with the enchilada sauce. We want that to be nice and warm. We don't want to have to be heating it up in the oven. It's going to take too long and make our chips soggy. So we'll start with an oven. I'm using a pie plate, so use some sort of oven proof dish. And you want to spread your tortilla chips out on the plate. And you don't want to make them too thick because you don't want some of these to get hidden and then they don't get any sauce or any cheese or anything else on them. So you're going to do pretty much a single layer. Something like that looks pretty good. Okay, now our next thing to add is the enchilada sauce. So get a little ladle and you're just going to try and drizzle this around the chips. You don't want to make them, you don't want them drowning in the sauce, let's put it that way, but you want to try and get a little bit on every chip. That's just how I roll, I like a little bit everywhere. So I'm going to take my time, and I got my oven preheating right now to 375 degrees, so make sure you do that. So like I said, I'm going to drizzle it pretty much all the way around. Some people like to add beans to this too. I mean, you can do all kinds of things. But your basic sauce, a little ground beef, and lots of cheese, that looks pretty good to me right there. Okay, so then the next thing I'm going to put on there is the ground beef. Now again, I'm going to try and sprinkle this all the way around. Use your fingers, it's a little easier. The meat's not very hot, it's warm. Remember, you want to start out with warm meat. So just take it out of the refrigerator, and I heated mine up in the microwave. Works fine. Or you can just put it on the stove in a saucepan. All right, so once you get enough meat on there to how you like it, I'm going to put a little bit more. You're going to want to serve this with a fork too, because some people aren't going to want to get their fingers in there and get dirty. So a little paper, paper plates, however you're doing your party, and give them a few little plastic forks to eat it with, and they'll be good. Okay, so that looks good to me. Now the next step is the cheese. Now I'm going to take a nice handful of this, sprinkle it all the way around. You don't have to get too crazy with the cheese, but I certainly like to have the cheese on those chips. That looks perfect to me right there. Now I'm going to put this in the oven. This is going to all get nice and melted. You're going to see the sauce bubble up. That's when you take it out. You want to make sure all that cheese is melted. I'm not sure how long it'll take. It'll just depend on your oven, but I'm guessing 5 to 10 minutes. So in the oven it goes. So here's our nachos out of the oven. Don't those look delicious, let me tell you. So now what we can do is you can either put some guacamole on this plate or you can put your guacamole on the side and let your guests take a little bit and put it on their dish and eat it with it. And what I would recommend is if you're making this for a party, is to do it in waves. So do a platter of it, and bring it out and let them eat it up while it's still hot, and then do another one. And that way it doesn't get soggy and everything stays nice and warm while they're eating it. So those are my tips. All right, so I can't wait to try this. So remember what I said now, you want the sauce to be nice and bubbly, and you want that cheese to be melted all over, and you gotta have the guacamole. Guacamole, oh, it's fabulous. Make this recipe, guys, and you'll have a touchdown. Thanks for watching. I hope this helps you out and you enjoyed the video. So be sure to subscribe to my channel. I'll be coming out with more videos every week, and leave me a comment. I like to hear from you. So take care and enjoy that Super Bowl.